All hell is breaking loose as the Pentagon is attacking the MeidasTouch network. They are attacking reporters affiliated with the MeidasTouch network, and the Pentagon is attacking courageous reporters affiliated with other outlets for reporting truthfully about the horrible conditions aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln, the horrible conditions aboard the USS George H.W. Bush, the horrible conditions that previously took place aboard the USS Gerald Ford, and the horrible conditions on the various U.S. military bases in the Middle East. Most of those military bases have recently been abandoned by our military as they were defenseless as Iran continued to strike them. You have the Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth referring to our reporting as reckless and shameless, and saying that we completely and intentionally misrepresented what's happening on the USS Abraham Lincoln. Courageous reporters affiliated with the MeidasTouch network like Aaron Parnas. By the way, everyone, subscribe to Aaron Parnas' YouTube channel. Aaron Parnas is speaking directly with the family members of our courageous Navy sailors and Marines aboard these supercarriers and at the military bases. And also, we have heard, whether it was on CNN or MS Now or other places, from the family members of these sailors and Marines who have talked about the horrible conditions that are existing on these U.S. supercarriers. Now, all hell is breaking loose as well, because now, very suddenly, the United States military, once they've been exposed, they've now made the drastic decision to bring into the Middle East the USS George Washington, which is currently the only Pacific-based supercarrier. So this move now leaves the waters of the Pacific without a U.S. carrier presence at all for an unknown period of time. And this just shows you the horrible logistics of the United States military under incompetent people like Hegseth. Let's be very clear. The USS Abraham Lincoln needs to come home. That is obvious. They're not getting the food they need aboard. They're not getting the appropriate conditions, whether it's showers, whether it's toilet bowls, whether it's just the basic necessities to live. So that ship absolutely needs to come home. At the same time, it is horrific that our military didn't plan for this. I mean, what the hell is CENTCOM doing, Brad Cooper? What are they doing in the Pentagon? Hung Cao, the acting secretary of the Navy, what the hell are you? This is your plan? So now at a time where Russia, Vladimir Putin, just went on an island which Japan claims and which Russia claims as its own, as you have China asserting itself more in the region, the U.S. security umbrella has not only fallen in the Middle East, it's fallen in Asia, and the U.S. doesn't even have any supercarriers in the region, while you also have Kim Jong-un launching test ballistic missiles and bragging about his nuclear capabilities. Folks, this is what happens when you have people who have bankrupted things throughout their life and you put them in charge of our military, like Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth and this whole regime of losers. So you have Pete Hegseth saying the following: the reckless and shameless American, and he puts that in quotes, media completely and intentionally misrepresents the USS Abraham Lincoln. The brave sailors of that strike group are very proud of their tough and historic mission. They embody resilience and excellence. The Department of War, the U.S. Navy, and CENTCOM have their back. And then he posts these performative photos of himself looking so creepy, he looks like such a freaking creep. He is a creep, and the allegations against him are absolutely horrid as well. And he couldn't even run a nonprofit for veterans. He mismanaged it so badly, he got pushed out. That may have been a red flag, United States Senate MAGA. Hegseth said, hearing from the troops on the front lines in CENTCOM, air, land, and sea, including USS Abraham Lincoln. Incredible Americans on a historic mission. Let me be clear. They are historic. They are incredible Americans. Let's be very clear. In terms of the mission, this is an unlawful and catastrophic war in Iran. Our sailors, our Marines, our soldiers do embody resilience and excellence. But let me be clear. My view, being a patriotic American, it's calling out people like Hegseth as a war criminal. It's calling Donald Trump out as a war criminal. It's calling Brad Cooper out as a war criminal. And it's calling everybody out who have been involved in war crimes and who have treated our service members like absolute crap, who have created conditions where our service members are not getting the nutrition that they need to even live, and where their conditions are so bad that you have many service members thinking it's a better decision to go overboard because their mental health is so awful aboard these ships and they've been treated so awfully. So then you get the statement from the acting Secretary of Navy, Hung Kao. Here's what he posts. The USS Abraham Lincoln crushed their deployment and will return home soon as part of a planned rotation. Pause right there. Well, it's good that they're coming home soon, but this was not part of a planned rotation until people like Aaron Parnas, Stars and Stripes, Military Times, MS Now, and others started to call you out. This was not you told everybody it was going to be indefinite. In fact, yesterday, Donald Trump said they should be out there longer. Donald Trump said that our troops should be out there longer and that he doesn't care about them. Literally his words. And this is somebody who's previously called our service members suckers and losers. And he can't even deny it. I mean, he basically said that yesterday. They should be out there longer is what Trump said. Then Hung Kao says, details will come, but let me be clear. The safety and security of our sailors and Marines always comes first. Really? Because you had a lot of our service members in containerized barracks without the appropriate interceptors to stop Iran strikes. And then when they suffered catastrophic brain injuries, you said, oh, it's just minor injuries. You know, when ballistic missiles and Shahi drones slam into the containerized places that they live, it's not a traumatic brain. It's just a minor injury. Mission accomplished, he says. He goes, mission accomplished. Troop welfare. This is how we lead. What mission was accomplished? Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz. You had our sailors and Marines out there for way longer than they should ever have been out there without getting a port call. You've mismanaged the most basic logistics. That's a mission accomplished to you losers. Then it goes on to say the Lincoln was extended because the mission demanded it. Deployments are hard. Combat operations make them harder. War is hell and normal routines are disrupted. War is hell, but I thought we were in a ceasefire. I thought Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth and Marco Rubio said we weren't in a war. Oh, all of this time? You mean our sailors and our Marines aboard these supercarriers were deployed for war and you didn't even provide them with the basics for them to live? Oh, that's what happened. Got it. One of the hardest aspects of war fighting, beyond knowingly placing our service members in harm's way, is that even with the best planning and communication, change and uncertainty will always be in play. Our success depends on how we adapt. Even with the best planning and communication, this was the worst planning and the worst communication. We have a psycho in the Oval Office every day saying, oh, I did a deal. Oh, we didn't do a deal. I'm going to bomb the hell out of Iran today. Oh, I'm talking with the Ayatollah and we're very close to doing a deal. Oh, did you like my magnificent deal that I signed in Versailles? Oh, Iran's breaching the deal. Oh, I'm going to blow up your bridges. Oh, we did a deal. All timed right around the stock market as well. You think that was clear and great communication? You never even explained to America, the people in the United States, why the hell we were there in the first place. You previously said last year we obliterated Iran's nuclear weapons, so we have to re-obliterate it. No, what was happened is that Donald Trump and Netanyahu went in alone. They thought that the Iranian people were going to greet them as heroes. And that's not what happened, because the most basic understanding of the region would tell you that Iran does not want Iran to become Gaza or the way Lebanon looks. So the most basic understanding would tell you they were not going to greet Netanyahu and Donald Trump as heroes after you blew up their elementary school in Manab and slaughtered little girls and then committed all these other war crimes in Iran. It's called even the best communication. Sailors and Marines are expected to dig deep, and they always do. A leader's responsibility is to take care of their people the best they can while balancing mission requirements. During this deployment, we have seen both. The job is getting done and our leaders taking care of their people. Let's be clear. Our service members are doing everything that was asked of them in these horrible conditions, and they deserve praise. Our leadership is not taking care of them. That's clear. Even right now, when y'all have been called out, Pete Hegseth, oh, the reckless and malicious meaning. We're just reporting on what the family members are saying is happening, and we're reporting on what the sailors and Marines are saying is going on, okay? That's the reality of the situation. Unfortunately, the media are trying to paint our warriors as victims. Not only is that dishonest, but it takes away the focus on the enemy and the threat it poses against our nation, people, and the way of life. Here's the truth. 266 days deployed, 200 days in combat zones, 1.5 million pounds of ordnances dropped. we know about the ordinances drop. One of the things that's causing a great deal of distress is that no one explained why are you bombing and engaged in these war crimes? Like, what the heck are you doing? And people aboard these ships feel complicit in the war crimes being committed by Trump and Netanyahu. And this is not America first. No one knows what the hell you're even talking about. Donald Trump's a blabbering idiot. And even on Friday, Donald Trump defamed our troops. He defamed their family members as well. And he like boasted that they should be on the ship for longer periods of time. People aren't stupid. I know maybe in your MAGA bubble, you're used to, oh, yeah, Donald. Most people get what the hell is going on right now, and people don't like it one bit. He does say this, though. It is also true, a small number of mental health cases were treated with no loss of life. Meal plans were adjusted when fresh resupply was unavailable without a single meal being missed. People say you may have, okay, it's not a brag to say it's not a brag to say we didn't miss a meal. The reality is that you're giving people basically the bare minimum or not enough nutrition to even sustain themselves. Calls home were limited when the operational threat was too high. There's no question our young men and women have been pushed to their limits, but they have never broken. They are rightly tired, but have never been out of the fight. However, it is clear, knowing the whole story, our force and their families are not victims. They are the epitome of American strength and resilience. So when the USS Abraham Lincoln pulls into the pier, join me and stand proudly with a grateful heart and give our sailors and Marines the hero's welcome they deserve. Okay, they are heroes. We get that. And they will get a hero's welcome. But don't hide behind them, your recklessness and your incompetence and the incompetence of this regime that got us involved in this catastrophic and unlawful war. Aaron Parnas posting, a sailor aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln sent a family member the following image of food they had been served. They legit said, we mixed things together and that was everything being offered right here. I mean, barely enough to sustain themselves. More photos of the little bit of food they got. Then Sean Parnell, one of the mouthpieces for the Department of Defense, goes, I deployed for 485 days in Afghanistan with an 80% plus casualty rate. We came under fire nearly every day. Combat deployment brings real hardship. That is simply the truth. We endured it. We held together. We finished the mission. The media treatment of the USS Abraham Lincoln is something different. Legitimate challenges of a long combat deployment are being twisted into a false narrative, while the genuine difficulties faced by military families are being used for headlines. This is shameful. Again, you're defaming the military families. And by the way, your service is admirable, okay? But your service and the fact that there were 80% plus casualties, are you suggesting that that's what we want to happen here? Are you suggesting that somehow we should not focus on what family members are saying as they raise the red flags because you served? I mean, there are members of Congress who served. You have Senator Gallego, you have Congressmember Crow, you have Congressmember Mull. I can go through multiple members who served who are calling out these conditions. And so I don't think that means we shouldn't be able to talk about what's happening or tell the stories of the family members who are out there terrified and angry about what the hell is happening. And I don't get this language. Oh, they're not victims. No, who's saying that? All we're doing is we're calling attention to the fact that this Trump regime, Donald Trump, who's bankrupted casinos and bankrupted all of these things and engaged in fraud, Donald Trump, who's a felon, Donald Trump, who's been found civilly liable as a sexual predator, this incompetent gremlin creature thing, that he is mismanaging this. And we want it to be managed better. And we want our troops to be taken care of. And we want to call out war crimes when there are war crimes and call out a war that we should not be involved in. That's okay. That's actually patriotism right there. This is shameful, he says. The sailors aboard the Lincoln are doing what American warriors have always done, remaining resilient, focused on the mission, and proud of their service. We stand with them. We stand with them. We stand with them. And standing with them and being patriotic is telling the truth about what's going on, not lying about it. Remember what Donald Trump said on Friday? He said, he was asked, family members of service members are concerned about the conditions. And he's like, no, they're not. They should stay on longer. Here, play this clip.
Okay, what else do I have to say?
Family members of U.S. service members are concerned about the conditions on board the USS Lincoln.
Well, no, that ship is moving. No, they're not. That ship is moving right now, or very shortly, and it's being replaced with another very similar ship.
Has the deployment's gone on too long?
No. Not nearly long enough. Thank you, everybody.
And then Donald Trump this weekend will be heading to a luxury golf club, to golf at his club on the taxpayer dime. Also, it should be noted that Hegseth in 1 month spent $15.1 million on ribeye steaks, about $8 million, $7.9 million. We'll be specific. 7.9 on lobster tail, $7.9 million on lobster tail, close to $300 million on new furniture. Horrific stuff. As I noted as well, you have the USS George Washington now heading to the Middle East. And now we don't have any super carriers in the Pacific right now, as we've abandoned our allies in the Pacific and they don't know what the hell's going on.